Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Monday. It is the 17th of July, which I only know because yesterday was the 16th. It was Dan's birthday. So 17 follows 16, which means that's what today is. So everyone should say a belated happy birthday to Dan. He turned 65 yesterday. This is Chart of the Week video number 147, and I want to say welcome. How are you this week? Doing good. It was a busy week getting caught up after coming back from vacation. So I tried to get this recorded earlier in the week and it just didn't happen. So we are at home today. I carted everything home, and I actually had started gathering this video, the stuff for this video up before I went on vacation because I really wanted to record it before I left, but that didn't happen either. So I'm kind of not even sure what I have in my pile of fabric. So we're going to find out together today. It is all neutrals. There is one fabric that is a color that I think would work really well with these colors of floss, but I don't have any of it. So just for your information, it would be a Weeks Dye Works Dolphin. I think might. Again, I didn't have any to try, but in my head I'm thinking that might be pretty on there. So if you have some of in your stash, you might try these colors on it and let me know what you think. Did it look good or not? So where are we? We are here. I have some old business to take care of before we get into today's video. I just want to thank you all for the 69 comments you left on the last Chart of the Week video. We were trying to get to 40 and we got to 69. So thank you so much. I appreciate each and every comment that you left. It not only helps me in the algorithm so that people can see me, but it also helps me know that you are watching and are interested, which I had a lot of compliments on and comments regarding my fabric choices, and I just want to say thank you for the compliments. I enjoy doing it. It does help to know that you guys appreciate it. So again, thank you for leaving me such nice comments. I appreciate it. Let's see. The question from last time was, who do you have the most charts of in your stash? A lot of you are like me and you didn't really know, but you were taking a good guess. Some of you, I'm surprised at the number of you that actually keep up on your Excel spreadsheets or your Xstitch app or whatever app you use. There were quite a few of you that do keep up on that. So all you had to do was open it up and kind of look and see. Some people were surprised when they did look and saw who they have the most of in their stash. And what surprised me is that it wasn't necessarily what they've stitched the most of, which I find kind of strange, but I think I'm the same way. So it's just one of those little weirdness things. So, but generally speaking, you know, the big hitters with the Needle and Thread, Blackbird Designs, Plum Street, those three were very popular. Modern Folk Embroidery was mentioned quite a bit. Heart and Hand was mentioned quite a bit. Prairie Schooler was mentioned quite a bit. So I found that the comments very interesting. So thank you for participating. Always good to have feedback. A lot of you wished me a good vacation. If you watch my regular videos, you'll know I had a good vacation. We had a great time. We're trying to figure out what's going to happen. We would really like to buy a property so that we're not at the mercy of somebody else. But none of us have any money, so I don't know that it's going to happen. But there is a property that I found about an hour away from here that's intriguing. It would take more than just Dan and I to buy into it, though. But we might make an appointment and go look at it tomorrow night after work. I don't know. We'll see. Probably won't happen. But it's nice to dream. Dreaming is good. It's good to have dreams. Nevada Stitcher thanked me for saying out loud that the JBW bird chart, Eliza's birds, was really hard to read. And you don't have to thank me for saying it out loud. I probably say too much out loud that I shouldn't say. I'm pretty blunt, and I don't tend to sugarcoat things, and it gets me into trouble sometimes. But, I'm going to tell you what I really feel, and some people are going to be offended by that, and some people aren't. So you don't need to thank me for telling the truth. And you can't deny it. You look at the chart. You cannot deny it. It's hard to read. Many suggested, scanning it in and enlarging it. I've tried that, but this is so small. By the time you enlarge it enough to read, it's too fuzzy. So I just wish she'd make the charts bigger. I think she'd sell more. And I think that's all I had for the old business. So I guess it's time to go ahead and show you what the chart of the week for this week is. Put this over here. Keep in mind that most of these fabrics are all neutral. I had another one that wasn't quite as neutral, but it would have required 4 or 5, I think, floss changes. And I just thought that was a bit too many for a chart of the week. So I didn't show, I'm not showing it. So, okay, so this week, chart of the week, At Home by Brenda Gervais. It looks like this. I love the softness of this. The color palette is not necessarily as soft as it looks in here. The sun just went in again. I wonder if I should open up I guess it's okay. So it's not quite as soft. There are some brighter colors in it that you really can't see in that picture unless you're really looking at it closely. So I kept most of the fabrics kind of light and, like I said, neutral. And I think it would be a very beautiful design stitched up. So I don't know, are any of you working on it already? Wish there was a way you could show me. If you're working on it and you've posted a picture somewhere, let me know. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see your progress. I picked this one because I am kitting it up for myself, and I haven't chosen a fabric yet. Anyway, let's look at the color palette. The birthday card that my granddaughter made or our granddaughter made for Dan. It says happy birthday on it. I'm wondering if this is this is a wild and crazy suit he's wearing. I think he had a leisure suit similar to that back in the 80s. And then it just says Love Emma inside. Addie made one too. And we're going to use the back of that because it's nice and big. So there's your color palette. And see, I think on Weeks Dye Works Dolphin, these colors would be pretty. But again, I'd have to I'd have to see it before I could say for sure, but you could try if you wanted a color. Otherwise, I found it difficult because I could find a color that worked for some of the colors, but then one or two or three would disappear. So I just left it neutral. So I'm going to start with the called for. Well, back up. Okay, stitch count for this, 250 by 248. On 36 count, Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. I'm having trouble getting that in right now. I think I'm out of it in almost everything but this 40 count. So that's a thing. I think a lot of designers are using it because it was plentiful, and now it's getting harder to find. Let's see. What else can I tell you about this? Finished size on 36 count, going to be about 13 7/8 by 13 3/4, so it's almost square. And I should let you know there is over one in this. The little, what do they call that? A cartouche, I think. I'm going to call it a box with words in it. The words are over one, and this is satin stitched. The border of it is satin stitched. Now, for those of you who stitch on Aida, you can't do the over one. So you can either change the wording, you could elongate the box and put the wording, over two, or if you don't want any wording, which is kind of the way I am leaning, although I do like these words. What are they? I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read it off the picture. I didn't put any on the table. But the words read, "For genuine happiness, we need not roam. 'Tis doubtless found with little and at home." I do like those words. I don't necessarily know if I would go ahead and stitch it. If you didn't want to, you could just kind of take this corner here and reverse it and put it here. And that would fill up the space. So you have several options that you could do to avoid doing the over one. Options are good. That's why I do this, to give you options. Okay, so here we go with Vintage Country Mocha. Don't fall on the floor. I'm going to lay that there, put them here, and there you go. Vintage Country Mocha. Let's try. There's a lot of colors in this one. Let's try and spread them out a little bit more so you can see. I would be a little bit concerned with the putty on this. If you stitch it on the higher count and you're taking it down to just one strand, you might want to check that one out and maybe darken it or lighten it or something. But otherwise, I think everything works fine. Her dye lot of fabric may have been different because Vintage Country Mocha does change from dye lot to dye lot. Sometimes it's lighter, sometimes it's darker, sometimes it has more yellow in it, and it changes between the counts of fabric too. So I'm going to say it again. Always have your floss when you're picking fabric. I know for those of you who don't have an L&S, that makes it difficult for you. And I don't know how to get around that. All right, this is 28 count winter woolens. It's a seraphim fabric. It's a nice neutral beige. Nothing spectacular or out of this world, but it does look good. You see? Oh, peekaboo. Okay. And again, you can find the names of these fabrics in the description box. If you click on that little arrow that points down, you can find, I will put them in that box for you so you know what they are. This is 40 count raw natural. One of my all-time favorites because pretty much anything goes on it. Very pretty. This is an 18 count Seraphim Tobias. Tobias and Old Stationery are really pretty colors, and I quite enjoy them. They're on the darker side because most of the time I like darker fabrics. But like I said, in this case, I kind of did like the softness of the lighter fabrics. That's why I'm hesitating to choose mine, because I don't know which way I want to go. Sometimes I go with a light fabric and I regret it because I really lean dark. And then I stop and I think, well, maybe I should order some dolphin. I don't know. Okay, 32 count Atypical. This is a Mystic fabric. It is a pretty color. It's a very pretty color because it has some of this pinky color to it, which I think would pick up some of these oranges and rusties that are in there. And this is, did I say it was 32 count Atypical? I'm going to repeat it just in case I didn't, because I got distracted by the pretty fabric. Like that would be very pretty. Oops. It's hard to know whether you can see it or not. Should have brought my jug over. Someone made a comment, I don't think it was on a chart of the week video, but about the size of my water jug and was it big enough? And you know, I fill it up twice a day. Any larger, I wouldn't be able to pick it up. So it's probably big enough. You know, smaller I'd have to be filling it up more, and I don't want to do that. So 40 count aged paper, because I carry it to work with me. And I'm saving the planet because I'm not using plastic water bottles. So, all right, what did I say? 40 count aged paper. This is a color and cotton, I believe. It's just a very neutral beige. Has a little bit of a pinky tone to it, which again I think goes well with these colors. Palomino from Atomic Ranch, and this is 36 count. It's again a very pretty neutral. I don't know if you can see it, but very pretty neutral. And last but not least, is Neutrality, also from Mystic Fabrics. This is 18 count Aida. And again, it's just a very nice neutral fabric. So that is all I have for you for fabrics today. What's your favorite? You always got to tell me what your favorite one is. And if you happen to have the dolphin in your stash and you want to pull those colors, let me know how it looks. So that was today's chart of the week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like it. I know not everyone's a sampler lover, but it still is nice to see fibers and fabric and get an idea of what things look like. So even if you're not a sampler stitcher, you can still get something from the video. This week's question of the week is, do you take your cross stitch on vacation? And if you do you actually stitch on it? My answer is yes and no. Yes, I always take stitching with me wherever I go. I take it to market, I take it to retreat, I take it to, if I'm going to be traveling and Dan's driving, I take it vacation. When I was taking kids and picking kids up from school, I always had a project in the car because you always had to go early to get a fairly decent spot. So I would take it and then stitch. And you can get a lot done if you do things like that. These days I don't keep one in the car because I don't drive far enough. I'm not sitting long enough to really do anything. I do take it sometimes to the doctor if I think it's going to be a longer appointment rather than in and out. Market, I'm thinking there's no point. I always take some, and I don't think I have ever stitched. Well, a couple of times I have stitched at market before market started. But I'm usually too busy anymore, like figuring out a plan of action, where we're going to go first, who's going where. It seems to eat up all the time. So I don't know that I will take any in March. I say that, but will I really stick with it? If I do, I'm just going to take one, and it'll be a small one. But I really don't think I will. Vacation, I did take it on vacation. That's why I chose this question, because I was on vacation just not too long ago. And I did take it, and I did get stitching done. But I would suppose the answer to that question would depend on what kind of vacation you're going on. If you're going on a vacation where you're going to be out and about and sightseeing and doing all the things, probably not. But my idea of a vacation is going and sitting on my butt and doing nothing but stitching. So, Dan wants to go and he just wants to fish. So it works out for both of us, because I can sit inside and do all the stitching and he can go out and fish, and we're both happy. So it would depend, I think, on the type of vacation that you go on. But please let me know what you do. I think that's it, other than just some general chit chat, I guess. Had a good weekend. It was Dan's birthday, like I said. So we had been babysitting Alex and Emily's I should not say babysitting, I should say dog sitting, Alex and Emily's two dogs for a week. And both of them shed. Charlie sheds a lot. She's a beagle. And my house was absolutely covered in white dog hair. So we spent most of his birthday cleaning. I think I vacuumed the floors 4 times and I'd Swiffered in between each vacuuming. I wiped down all the furniture, and there's still dog hair. And it's not Rags. Rags has fluffy and clumpy kind of shedding, which I still don't care for, but it's a lot easier than Beagle. Beagles they're bad. She's a sweet, sweet dog though. But man, the hair. So we did that most of the day, and then he wanted steak and hash browns for supper, so we had steak and hash browns, and then he wanted strawberry shortcake for dessert. I don't use normal shortcake for my strawberry shortcake. I use Grand's biscuits, and I dip it in sugar, the top and sides in sugar or butter, and then in sugar, and bake them that way. And so they get kind of a crunchy, sugary coating on them, and then put the strawberries and whipped cream on top. So that is the only strawberry shortcake that Dan and I will eat. And so I made that, and Adam and Marcia and the girls and Marcia's mother, who's in town visiting, came over and had dessert. I had invited Alex and Emily, but they said they weren't planning to come. So, and Abby, she's an hour and a half away, so she wasn't coming either. So I don't know that he had the best of birthdays, because pretty much he helped me clean, and I really appreciated the help. He's been working on the butler's pantry. He's been putting in recessed lighting and figuring out where the pendant lights are supposed to hang. And then putting up the shiplap. So he's got all the holes cut for the lights so he can put the shiplap up now. But I think I explained in my other video that, our line of credit expired, and I didn't want to, with the interest rates, didn't want to do another line of credit. So we're doing this kind of $200 at a time. So we're out of $200 for this month. So it's going to have to wait now, so he can go back to some other things. He's been making the beehives, the wooden beehives, and he made a scissor beak bird, which I didn't bring to show you. So I thought I would let him show you. So I'm going to try and get him into the next video. We'll see. And yeah, that was our weekend. I did get some stitching done, both on the retreat piece, which is coming along nicely. I'm a little over half done. But I didn't stitch on it last night because I was stitching on it while I was Zooming on Saturday night. And I was Zooming upstairs because Dan was bangity bang banging in the butler's pantry. And it was still upstairs, and I was too lazy to come downstairs or go upstairs and get it last night because I was tired from cleaning. And so I worked on my Kathy Barrett, what is that, Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. So I didn't get much done because by the time company left, it was like almost 9 o'clock. Dan wanted to watch a couple episodes of Ghosts. I don't know if you've watched Ghosts. It's a CBS show, and he wanted to watch a couple episodes. He loves that show. It's cute. I like it. Abby wasn't impressed when she was here week before last. She wasn't impressed, but she was really tired. So I don't know if that might have had something to do with it or not, but he really enjoys it. So he asked if we could watch a couple episodes, and I said, sure. So we watched that, and so I stitched for just a short amount of time and then went to bed because I was tired. So, retreat news. I think I did only have one room left, and then two ladies decided to share. So I have 2 rooms left if anyone's interested. And I said I'm working on the project. I think it's really cute. Connie thinks it's really cute. It's one of the reasons I don't show it beforehand or give anyone any clues, because I'm always afraid everyone's going to hate it and won't sign up for retreats. So I don't know. I think it's turning out really cute, and I hope everybody else everyone that comes thinks so too. And we had our first. I'm trying to have a few more activities in the shop, and we had our first Learn to Stitch class. My bookkeeper and friend Stacy, taught the class, and it was for 11 to 14-year-olds. So we just did a little freebie pattern off, that we got online, and kitted it up for them, gave them scissors and a hoop and needles and the fabric, and she taught the class. And I think we had six students. Yeah, 6 students, and then Stacy's stepdaughter Miranda and Stacy's best friend's daughter Riley, and then my niece Kate. We're kind of there as helpers. And I think at least two of the 6 will probably stitch some more. Whether they'll stick with it forever, I don't know. But Micaiah seemed to be really interested, and so did, what was her name? Can't think of her name. But a friend of Micaiah's, and then there was one other little gal that I think was pretty interested. So we'll see. We'll see if we enticed some young ones to stitch. I hope so. We may do it again. We'll see. They did ask, a couple of them did ask if we were going to do another class, maybe teaching them how to use overdyed flosses, or stitch on something other than Aida, like an advanced beginner class. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, if there's any interest. I've had quite a few adults ask if I do any classes, and it's so hard to get adults together at the same time that I haven't ever done one, but I'm considering it. And if I could find someone that would teach finishing classes, I'd probably do that too, but I'm kind of particular about the finishing, so they'd have to be really good at it, I think, before I would say okay. I think so. So that was fun. It made for a longer day than normal because the class didn't start until after the shop was closed. So the class was from 2 to 4, and I got out of there at about 5. So it was fun. And yeah, I think that's all the shop news I have. Talked about retreat, talked about the class. Yeah. So that's what I know. The rest of my day is I got to run to the vets because we're out of food, because it was kind of open season on food for the last week with the extra dogs. Everybody was eating everybody's food, so we went through more food than what I normally do. And so I'm out of food, and I need to get Rags some Apoquel for her itching. And then I need to come home and work on a retreat project, so that will be the rest of my day. I hope Monday is going well. I'm going to try and get this posted today, so it's at least goes out on Monday. I was hoping this morning it would go out, but that didn't happen. My cousin fell and broke his leg. He lives up in Valentine, Nebraska, so they had to bring him down in the ambulance because it required surgery, and so he's in the hospital in Bellevue, and Melanie and I want to go and visit him at some point today. Unless they're moving him to rehab or he's going to be in rehab. I don't know. He's got a little problem because he's torn all the rotator cuffs in his shoulder, so he really can't use that arm. So I'm not sure crutches are going to be an option for him. And he's non-weight bearing. So I don't know how that's going to work out. And, oh, my niece Katie got a new puppy yesterday. She got a golden doodle. I think she's all black. I don't think, her name may be Maisie. May not, I don't know. She hasn't decided for sure. And then Adam and family are getting their miniature Schnauzer puppy next Sunday. So the family is growing by puppies. Abby is going to get one in about a year when Hayden's a little older. So lots of dogs. And we've got more granddogs than we have grandkids. It's funny. So anyway, I'm going to let you go so I can head to the vet and get that taken care of and then get back here and get something done. And I will, well, first of all, don't forget to leave a comment and answer the question. You can like and subscribe if you aren't subscribed. And I will see you in 2 weeks for the next chart of the week video. Next week will be just a regular video showing what little I've stitched. And maybe I'll talk Dan into, speaking about Dan, he kind of likes the ship that's on the front of the punch needle. What's the name of that? The punch needle magazine. There's a ship. And I did the math, and it will, I think, fit in his opening. He needs to find his clock, which went down to the basement, so God knows where it is now. But he likes that ship, so I think we may have found it. I want to thank everyone who offered suggestions. It's such a tiny little opening that it was hard to find something. So thank you very much for your suggestions. And now I am going to let you go. You have a great week, and I will talk to you next time. Take care till then. Bye-bye.